When conflict turns fatal, everyone rushes to judgment. But before we can argue about sides, we have to ask a deeper question. What are we teaching our boys about anger, about pride, about walking away? Tonight isn't about defending violence, it's about examining the emotional tools that we give our young Black boys and Black men and whether or not they're enough. Yeah, this is the culture debrief. The crazy thing is there are not people talking about this. And this was about a year ago, and this is where this young man, Carmelo Anthony, he went to a football game, a high school football game,
I know he
and
stabbed somebody.
yeah,
What
he
the
stabbed somebody. Yeah,
what
he was under their tent. Well, I'll let the video explain it, but he was under their tent, and they came up on him. You know, this dude and his brother, his twin brother, they came up on him. Now, mind you, they were the whole football team too, and so, but
mm,
they walk up on him. They lay hands on him
mhm,
multiple times, and he warns them, "Hey, you don't want to do that. Please don't do that. You ain't gonna like what's gonna happen." Basically,
mhm.
and he does it again, and
Right,
so, the young man pulled out the knife and
right.
stab,
What I
stab,
read
stab.
right, I read he was, like, kinda egging him on to do it. That was just a Google search. He was just like, "Hit me and see what happened," or it was
Yeah, that's what I
Well,
heard. I kept hearing
yeah,
in all the
and
stories.
and and that's fine too. I mean, hit me and see what happened. I mean, regardless of what,
right.
Imma
you know
tell
what I'm
you
saying?
why he's gonna lose. Not gonna like my disposition, but flat out it's gonna be accurate. It was a school function and he had a weapon.
That too.
That
Yeah,
is it,
Had
and
that
that is
on.
that.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. But, it's a shame because, you got all these folks out here, the Kyle Rittenhouses and
Oh,
the
yeah.
George
Mhm.
Zimmermans and all these
And none
folks
of
out
us,
here,
they should
Right.
be
they
in
can do
jail,
this.
Yep.
but that doesn't mean that he should get away. If it would've just been a fight, it would have been just that, hopefully.
But that's the thing, we don't know that. We don't know what would have happened. We don't know his feelings at the time when it was happening to these 2. Well, you'll see, but, I mean, I don't know
No,
how much you
so
you you've
I'm
seen of it.
versed on it. I'm versed on it now. His other fault is that he was underneath their tent. He was in their area, their designated
Yeah,
area.
It was
Yeah,
it's
that
raining,
alright.
right?
change. Yeah, it was
You
raining.
still but you still can't lay hands though, right?
No, you
You
can't.
still
I
can't
I
assault because
I don't know.
by law, let's look at it legally. Okay,
Yeah.
let's look at it legally. Now, I understand what you're saying as far as the having a weapon on school grounds, okay? And he may be in trouble there
Oh,
depending on how they
very
look
much.
at it with it being a after school function, whatever the case is. But stand your ground laws play an effect in Texas, and the fact that you just have to have what is it called? Basically, in the sense, the suspicion that your or the feeling like your life is being threatened,
Right.
and at the same time, your reaction has to be proportionate to action coming at you. But on another side of it is it's his perception. He perceived if he perceived his life to be in danger because you got this young, muscular, football playing young man who walks
Mhm.
up on you in an aggressive manner. You have
Mhm.
his twin brother who comes along with him. Okay. Twin brother may not have made gestures toward it, but he was there in an intimidating fact. And he may have
Like any
felt,
any brother.
yeah, he may have felt an intimidating factor there. And so with the initial push or, alleged push or alleged grab or push down. Then the warning, from what I understand there was a warning, and then there was another attack, whether it be a
Mhm.
push, grab, whatever the case is. If I'm not mistaken, what I heard is that he fell to the ground on one of those occasions. And regardless of whether he said, "Do it again," and see what happens, they assaulted him, and it
Mhm.
may be aggravated assault, seeing as how he may have had fear of his life being threatened, because you also have the fact that you have a football team that may be coming up behind them as well. And so he may have thought, I'm getting ready to be jumped and could
Mhm.
possibly lose my life. And I think that's the only way, if he gets through, that's the only way he's going to be able to do it, is to be able to prove that it was a fear of his life due to possible aggravated assault.
It ain't happening just because
Yeah,
of
but
weapon.
you're supposed
It's
to
the
flee the
weapon.
scene though. Yeah, you're supposed to flee. Like if you're attacked, like that's supposed to
It's
be like
easier
last
said than
resort.
done, though, Jay.
You could,
You,
Not
I know
according
you
to,
ain't never
not
been.
according,
If you ain't never
but
been jumped by more than 5 people, I
no,
have.
I haven't.
Sometimes you
Uh,
don't have the option to run.
and
right.
according to stand your law ground that is in effect in Texas, you don't have to.
You
Let me
said he
pull it up.
had to
Stand
match
your
the
ground law.
energy. You said he had to match the energy with the energy
Yeah,
that was given, but they didn't have knives or whatever.
Yeah, that's
You
what I'm
know.
yeah,
saying. And that weapon,
but aggravated assault is
Mm.
still perception thing, because he assaulted him, and he continued to assault him. It wasn't just a one-time thing. There was a continuous nature, and the fact
Sure.
that he may have, and this is all allegedly, he allegedly pushed him, allegedly,
hmm
grabbed him. But and like I said, with the other brother there, if he had fear of his life, because this other brother may jump in. And now this whole football
Right.
team may jump in. And I've
yeah,
already told them to stop.
yeah. I'm with Jay on the flee, and if you can flee, you could. But some people, I never used that option. I was gonna stand there.
Right.
We gonna get it.
Right.
Because you're gonna get at me at some point in time anyway.
Then you got to that's you supposed to worry about that at a later date. You know.
Hey, I
Well,
don't want it to be
and
when
that's the
I don't want it to be when my back is turned.
No, I get it. You know, you I yeah, but in the court of law, or not that I'm a lawyer or anything, but it's like, you're supposed to de-escalate at all times. Now, sometimes, yeah, sure, you
not
don't
according to
always
Texas
have
law.
that.
But the
Right,
whole thing that
right. And I
negates
don't
everything is the fact that he had the weapon.
he had a weapon. If what I'm
That makes it seem
true,
premeditated.
it almost like he wanted to egg it on so that he could. If what I'm reading is true,
Yeah.
I don't really know. I have to, really dig in. But it said during the argument that ensued, Anthony allegedly said, touch me and see what happens." You know,
When I heard that statement,
Mhm.
that made it sound premeditated at that
Right.
point.
And
And
then
that's
they
what they're going to
jumped on
use
it.
if they're saying the witnesses are saying the same thing. They're corroborating
Right.
and saying that that's what he was saying. It's going to be a tough day for him.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
definitely gonna be. Oh, I fully expect him not to get away
It
from
ain't gonna
this.
be
I
far from
expect him
He ain't gonna.
to,
I don't think
Oh,
he's the
yeah,
death penalty.
he
Yeah.
his best case scenario is he's gonna get some years. He's gonna
Mm.
get a certain amount of years for aggravated
I don't think he'll get
assault.
one.
I think
I
he can
think.
get aggravated assault, and
Mhm.
that's his best case scenario at this point.
Mhm.
As much as I would love for him to get away with this, because this is, he made a mistake. Well, at least I
I
feel
don't
like he
know
made
if
a
he
mistake.
made
I
a
don't know what's
mistake.
going on in his mind,
Yeah.
but why not? Why not?
Why don't I think? Because he egged them on. Like a mistake would be, you had a knife and you tripped or he fell onto it, or or some, like a mistake. Like to say, if this is true, to say touch me and see what happened, that means in the back of his mind he already
he knew
knew
what he
what
was
he was
going to
going to
do.
do if
Yeah.
they in fact took him up on his offer.
Yeah.
So
Well, my thing is what he may have known he was gonna defend himself. He may have known he was gonna pull that knife out and
mhm.
and make a swipe at him or even cut him. But
That
he
ain't
may
gonna
not have
matter.
known but he may not have had the feeling like, "Okay, I'm gonna kill this guy." You know what I'm saying? Now,
Right. He
I'm not
probably
talking
didn't
about
mean to.
court of law. I'm not
Yeah,
talking
I
about
don't think
court of
he.
law and
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
he
he
meant
was
to kill
trying.
him. I don't think he
Yeah,
meant to kill him.
but I'm saying
But
I don't think he meant to kill him. I think he meant to scare him, cut him, make him get up off me, make him back up off me and leave me alone, and that was
what
about it. But
what
he
I'm
made
reading,
a bad decision.
I think he made a terrible decision. And now, granted, this is in Wikipedia, so they could have just changed the story to their liking. But he had the knife in his backpack. It wasn't like he was in his back pocket or
Yeah.
anything.
yeah.
So
He
he
had
had
to
to
go get
grab
it,
that bag,
No, it was
unzip
right
it.
there. It was right there with him.
but
It
it was in his
wasn't.
bag. He
It was
had
in
to
his
make a
bag.
conscientious effort
Yeah.
to go in
Yeah.
that bag and grab that knife
It was right
and
there with
commence
him
the
on the
stabbing.
bleachers. It was
Right.
from what I understand, it was right there with him on the bleachers
Right.
where he was sitting. And he
Right.
So,
told
man,
him because
So
he
he was like,
reached down
hold that
toward the
thought. Hold
bag.
on.
hey, all right, this is my
Uh,
argument. My
and
argument is if that had been a gun in his bag and he pulled the gun and shot him, would it still have been justified?
no,
Exactly.
you can't
Well,
words
that's the
for
thing.
word.
It doesn't matter because all it's going to come down to is the law portion of it.
Right.
Meaning,
Exactly.
yeah,
Right.
meaning like if he has, regardless of whether it was a gun or a knife, if he had, if the stand your ground law takes effect and he ends up getting away, it's not going to matter whether it's a knife or a gun.
No,
And if
it's
and
not
if
going to
it
matter
doesn't,
because
and if it doesn't, and if
it's
it
not going to
doesn't,
matter
like I
because
said,
of the weapon.
hmm?
He was at a school function.
No, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. The gun, whether it's a gun or knife, doesn't matter. Are you
Because
I
saying that
know.
it does
I was just
matter?
making a comparison because I don't know. It seems like you build it for what could get him off the charges.
No, I'm
And
stating facts. I'm stating the fact. It's
I
not
got you.
going to
I got you.
matter whether it's a gun or a knife. The consequences are the consequences, whether he gets off or whether he goes to jail. Whether it's a gun or a knife, I don't think that part of it matters legally or any otherwise.
he's gonna do sometime.
Whether he
Yeah.
reached in there and pulled out a gun or whether he reached in there and pulled out a knife,
He's still
Yeah.
I don't think it
That's the
would
point I was making.
affect whether it was either or.
fair enough. But then
I don't.
it said he basically struck him in the chest, like it wasn't a swipe, it wasn't anything
But
like that.
we don't know what
We
it was.
don't
We
know.
don't really know.
Like,
We know
and I
Yeah.
don't
we
know
know we
how
just know
accurate
he
the
was
story.
stabbed in the chest.
He
That's
was
all we know.
stabbed in the chest.
And it could have been in close proximity where the dude was grabbing him or something like that.
Right. But why not his arm? Why not?
He probably turned right into him.
Yeah.
My thing is, yeah, when somebody's jumping you, when it's a fight type of thing,
Right.
you're not looking for the arm. You're not looking for the leg. You're not looking. We're not trained professionals, so we're not looking for certain points.
I
We're
got
just
the
grabbing the weapon and making the strike. But I hear you. Like I said, he's not getting away scot-free. He's going to jail and is a murderer, but I still feel like there's the only thing that convicts him is the fact that he's on school grounds with a weapon.
yep.
That's how I feel.
If
That's
it's
the
outside
only thing.
that school area, it's a little different. Then that stand your ground comes into effect. When you in that school atmosphere, and I'm speaking from an example, because I had a little incident, that football around deal, and they were trying to jam me up on that first day of school after that summer. Because it was a school function, even though school was not in session.
What are black boys taught about handling disrespect? What did your parents teach you in regard to handling disrespect? And what do you teach your children in regard to handling disrespect?
My parents didn't really teach me. I mean, you got the stereotype parent, if they put their hands on you, you make sure they never do it again, or anything. My parents are pretty much pacifists in a way. I don't know where I got that fire from, but if somebody's picking up on me, I'm going to stand up for myself. But it's not like they taught that to us. I mean, we're, I don't know. They're more so, they never said it, but they're probably more so like a turn the other cheek type of, parents. But nah, I'm gonna try to not fight or not, to get out of it, but I'm gonna protect myself. That's it. But that was self self-taught in a way. Or
I got a question for you. How many fights have you been in?
I've been in 2 fights. 2. And if you want to barely call it that. And yeah, two fights where we actually back and forth,
Mhm.
but that's it.
Okay.
And
All right, Colis. So what's up? How how does that affect your life? How did your parents come at you with disrespect? I already know. Go
Oh
ahead and
yeah.
say it anyway.
Robert and Corey, play that. My mother was a tomboy coming up. She fought her brothers a lot. So therefore, she was down with the excuse my French, the shits. Dad, he didn't encourage it exactly, but at the same time, I wanted to come home with no black guy and not with a good story about what the fight was. So with that being said, I don't know. Yeah, I was kind of a little nudged. It was like they disrespect you. You feel threatened. Do something about it.
And that's pretty much how you have taught your son, right? Or has
A little different. I always taught both of my children to use restraint. No fight is the best fight. So by that being said, an example, I will share stories with them. I was a bouncer before. I was a head bouncer over this place called Rudolph's in South Minneapolis. I ain't never had to touch a person. What it is it starts in, I saw this in my latter years, it starts with respect. You cannot like this joker all you want. And I had jokers come up and they ain't got their ID. And after a certain time, they want me to card everybody just to make sure that everything's everything. We don't have no minors in there. Nonetheless, I have big gangster looking jokers come up in there, but I'm suited up and booted up. I'm clean and I want to stay clean. I would respectfully tell a gentleman, like, if they did something that was out of pocket, look, I can have you come back here next time, man. And first, when you come in, find me. My name is JR. Find me. I'll buy your first drink. But tonight, man, you got to go, man. What you did, man, I don't want to have how the cops come up here and take you away, nothing like that. Show the man respect. I never had to touch a joker up in there.
Right.
High school was a little different. Some people was begging for it.
I'm begging for it.
Yeah, look, I love each and every person I see that we ever went to Emerson with. I have no animosity towards anybody. Anthony can attest to that. It was a certain individual that we saw getting on the elevator right after having a conversation about that situation that happened in Emerson. And what did I do, Ant?
just hey, what up? And told him come on and hang out with us and everything else, right?
No, well,
That's
I
what's
pretty
up.
much teach them though is try not to fight. Best fight is one that you can walk away from, outsmart your opponent, and outwit them. Now, don't turn your back on them. That's something totally different. Don't trust nobody out here. And when they get close enough that you can touch them early and often. Just start protecting yourself. I'm serious. That's how one of the bunch of the fights that I had where people got close enough, I put pause on.
Well, I guess that kind of answers that next question of are we raising boys to walk away?
That's what I would do.
Most definitely what I'm trying to accomplish. From how you said you raising your boys, I'm pretty sure you tell them the same exact thing.
Who made-
I don't have no
The
boys.
Jason has no boys. Unless we're talking about Jason
Yeah,
Bowles.
yeah.
Right.
But no, yes, I do. I teach them that. I mean, I try to keep them walking away as much as possible. If you can walk away, just walk away. But at the same time, if you have to, if you are cornered and you can't get away from the
Oh yeah.
situation, if you can't get away from the situation, then you better lay they behind down.
It's time to go.
And you make sure they don't get back up right away. So you just so put them down and then go get some help and go explain the whole thing. And I tell them, make sure you tell them your part. That's the most important
Yeah.
thing. Always tell them your part. What did you do? And then you tell them the whole thing, every bit of it, and let that be that. Say, and let the chips
Did you
fall
tell them
where they
how to
may.
put them down? I said, did you tell them how to put them down, or
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah. I know.
okay.
We have many a days of dealing with the physical aspect of fighting, and what to do in those aspects and whatnot. How to take them down, without just snapping and unaliving the kid.
Unaliving. Right.
But yeah, but yeah, they know. But again, I doubt. Well, you just never know when a situation will come. But I doubt that my kids will advocate to the point where they're gonna unalive anybody, but you just never know.
Mm.
Is anger being normalized as strength? Is anger being normalized as strength? I'm gonna give you an example. I when I'm scrolling Facebook and scrolling these social media sites and stuff, and these keyboard warriors, they get on there and they talking all this mad stuff and whatnot to the point where their anger comes across as strength. Their anger makes people feel like they're strong and they're really not. So
Mhm.
I guess in the sense is anger is that being normalized as strength?
It should be where I come from. They call that selling wolf tickets. Wolf, wolf.
Right. That's FAFO. If you ask me. But, I don't know if anger is being normalized as strength. That's that's a case by case basis, by individual. I don't think I've seen anything that said, you know, get angry or you're telling me that anger is perceived as strength. That's like if I'm looking at a person and they're angry, I'm just like, oh, they're angry. I don't think, oh man, they sure are strong. That's
Well, so those guys will get up in your face and they do all that barking and wolfing and
right.
whatnot, acting like they're gonna do something,
Yeah.
and they're really not. You know
Right. I see
those type
that,
of
but that doesn't even really convince me. You know, usually it's the loudest ones that's the weakest.
Real
They
one
get
gonna go ahead and get to it.
right. Like they ain't with all that talking. Like, are we gonna do something or not? If they
Exactly.
even say that. If they even say that.
It
So
ain't gonna be no talking. I mean, for somebody that's real, most of the time,
mhm,
there is a little bit of talking because what I've noticed through my perusing of videos and whatnot,
mhm.
black folks that give you a warning.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like, hey,
Right.
don't do that. You don't want this. You don't want that.
Right.
They
Right.
will warn you, and then
Right.
next thing you know, it's over. So,
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of, you know,
Yeah. They have to
social
tell because
media.
this ain't what you want. I
Right.
literally, the year of COVID, went to the gas station. It
Mm,
was another African American brother up in there. I don't know him from Adam. Nonetheless, he's in there arguing with this older white gentleman that worked up in there. The man had to been like in his late 50s. On the bigger side, long beard. And I can't sell the tobacco products to you, man, because you don't have your ID. He going
mm,
off on, man, you only doing this shit because I'm black. And this, that, this, and that, and this. When he
mhm,
came out, I tried to big bro him and be like, yo, bro, if you don't mind, I was like, I'll buy you stuff for you. And he
mm,
just kind of blew me off and kept going. I went up in there to go buy my stuff and he come back in. He got to yapping again. And I just looked across the, I was like, man, you ain't about to accomplish nothing right now but going to jail real quick, dude. All this dude got
mhm.
to do is call the cops. Man, won't you shut the fuck up? I mean, point blank saying that to me, and it gets to a point where
Mhm.
he averted all that attention off that white
Mhm.
guy and told me verbatim, "Oh, you just
Mhm.
sucking this white man dick."
Mhm.
He started walking around that corner, and I already had like energy drink in my hand. I'm flipping it around, and as he coming, I was like, "This ain't what you want." I was like,
Right.
"Cause the moment you get over here, man, you're gonna wish you hadn't." You're
Mhm.
smart. By the time he get around the corner, he stopped.
Mhm.
That had me going. I was more hurt from the standpoint of this is supposed to be my brother.
Right.
We don't know each other, but at the same time, I have no problem with you. And if
Mhm.
anybody right now, we fighting and shouldn't be each other. You was that
Mhm.
mad at the world that you willing
Right.
to put it on me. He was quicker to try to put his hands on me than he was that white guy working behind the counter.
Because he can get to you.
Oh, he thought he could.
Well, right. Right.
He was
Well, that
for
part.
lunch.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's usually how it go.
Where is the line between self-defense and ego? Where is the
Mm.
line between self-defense and ego?
Yeah.
An
Have
example.
y'all, let me ask y'all a question. That's what I was about to do. Have y'all ever been at a function or something with your wives and there was just some joke up and they couldn't get the point that
Mm.
was your wife, your woman.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's one of those instances where that's tested. Have y'all ever experienced anything like that?
Not yet. And I
No,
think
I
about
haven't.
if that day would come, what I would do. If I know my wife, she'd try to walk me away, but it depends on what happened. Like, did he touch her? Words versus physical. If you just talking words, knowing her, she probably try to pull me out. But if he like grab some cheek or something like that, that's she might
Deal
still try to
breaker.
pull me away, but I don't know if I can let that stand. I don't know. So
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
he grab a cheek, I might grab some throat. I might, I might, I might. I don't know. She always says that she's scared of the day that I get mad because according to her, she says I got this quiet riot that like if I get real upset that there's a look in my I don't know. I'm saying whatever, babe, but she would say that she's scared of that day. I might be too because I try to be peaceful. That's it. But just the thought of that, I don't know. And that's it. Halo, guys. We got Halo.
So check this out. Here's a scenario for you. You're walking through the airport with your wife, and she's walking through, and all of you guys are going going up. You're getting into a line, and your wife is walking through. There's no real line yet. Everybody's funneling into a line. Your wife passes a white guy, and he says some negative things to her, and all kinds of negative stuff, cursing, all kinds of stuff. And,
Mhm,
you come up, you find out about this, but you're walking up trying to get to where she is because she's up in the line now.
mhm,
So you're
mhm,
walking up trying to get to where she is. Excuse me, my wife is right there. Excuse me.
mhm,
White man puts his arm out on the thing to block you
mhm,
from getting through.
mm, mhm.
But he gonna
You
lose that
do
arm. He gonna lose that arm. Nothing can stop me from getting to my wife at that point.
right. And there's no other way that you can get you like, babe, come around here and come to where I am. Like stand behind me or nothing like that. If there's absolutely no way, because I'm thinking future, like what happens after that? Like if I put hands on him, if I'm the first to touch, then I'm the one that's in the wrong. They gonna come after me, you know, and we could both get put on the no fly list. Now I can't never fly ever again. So I can go to jail or I can lose my flight privileges. And I'm a musician. I need that. But so I'm thinking
Yeah,
about
but
that.
if it's
If
dire,
it's dire, then yeah, he gonna lose
I
the.
mean, just if it was that situation, like,
If I can't
do you,
get to her and there's no way that she can get to me, he's leaving me no choice, really. But then again, am I the one to put the hands on him first? Because in the court of law, I'm gonna get the squeeze, So I don't. If I can't talk him down, in a situation like this, you might have to be the one to eat it. Like you might have to suffer the embarrassment for the sake of the bigger picture. Like you know, my bad. And then he like, yeah, that's what I thought. You got to eat that. That's gonna hurt.
mm,
That's gonna hurt.
mm,
But I would probably
how do
wait
you
till like,
eat that? I can't eat that.
man, I don't know if I could. I might eat it right then. I might wait till we get to where we're going, and then I
So
will find him.
I'll tell you
But
what happened
I,
to me.
I don't know. Right. I
So
think it sounded a little too
and
he had too many specifics with it.
right.
so the man puts his arm out, and I tell him, and me, I immediately just, I don't even think at all. I just immediately, I just give him the ant stare. I'm like, hey, bro, you better
Mhm.
move your motherfucking arm. I just tell him straight.
Right.
I just whoop him
Yeah.
up, basically, and he moved his arm. He moved his arm
Mhm.
immediately because I was getting
Mhm.
ready to let him. And I will whoop your ass and your son ass.
Mm.
And his
Right.
son was standing right next to me. I
Right.
said, I will
Just in
stand
case
here.
you're
I will
thinking
beat your
about
ass
coming in.
and your son's ass
Right.
right now.
Right.
And he moved his arm, and
Mhm.
I walked on through. And you know how the lines wind at the airport, so
Oh, you
it's
was
like at
there.
the ride
Yeah.
at it's
Security.
like the lines at the amusement park.
Right.
But and so we're having to pass each other constantly.
Y'all just looking at each
And that's
No.
exactly what happened. Every time we went past each other, I'm snapping off on him. I'm snapping off. 'Cause I'm letting him,
Yeah, I had
I'm
time to
snapping
think
off.
about what you was gonna say before you got to him again.
Right.
Yes, I did.
I already
Because
did that. All right,
I
now
kept getting madder. And you get madder and madder every time you see him. So
Right.
I'm getting madder and madder. And so I'm snapping off. And then I just left it all. I just, my wife the whole time is trying to calm me down. Um,
Right. What
and
did he
then
say?
well, he eventually shut up. He was trying to sell wolf tickets at first, but
Mm.
and his son jumped in, and I told him I don't want to have to beat the kid ass, but I will. And that was it. And so once we got through TSA, the moment we got past TSA and then we got to where we can put our shoes on and stuff, I'm sitting there putting on my shoes. Do you know I had at least 5 to 7 white folks come up to me and tell me, "Look, I'm so sorry. We are not all like that."
Oh, okay.
Yes, they were
Okay.
apologizing to me
It
because they
happens.
watched it go
Yeah.
down. They watched it
Yeah.
happen, and they knew
Right.
he was in the wrong for what he was doing.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
and
Did
I
they
mean,
tell
but
him
that's
that?
It happens.
probably not.
Of all
Probably not.
places, my daughter's graduation. It was at a stadium outdoors, a football stadium. And where we're at, we're like right behind where the seating would be like actually on the field and behind the fence, right? Everybody's out there talking because it's outdoors, it's an outdoor event. And me and a few of my family members, and I know my wife for certain, her auntie and all that stuff are standing there. My nephews, a couple of them, we're all in that area. And while we out there just talking like everybody else is, this older white gentleman sitting in front of us turned around and was like, "Could you guys please shut up?" I'm looking around like everybody's talking. And it turned into something. He kept turning around and we got into that match. And I called his bluff. I was like, we can go finish this conversation in the parking lot if you want to. It's going to be a real
Mm.
short one, but we can go do it
Mhm.
out there.
Mhm.
He got up, ran to the police, y'all. I can't make this up. I want
That
this
sound
thing
about
to
right.
follow me. He
Mhm.
came back with the police and was like, right there, and pointed to me and stood with his legs all bent. Everybody was down laughing out there. I mean, even
Wow.
folks we didn't even know. When the
Mhm.
police came over there, just like Ant said, man, crazy enough. I don't like having to have the validation of white people to come up and speak for you. But the fact that
Mhm.
they ran up, it was like, that man right there was the problem the whole time. These people are out
Mhm.
here enjoying the graduation just like everybody else is. He started it
Mhm.
and it was squashed after that. I wish it didn't happen. At that point in time in my life, I was at a job, for lack of a better word, that was niggering me daily. And no,
Mhm.
because I would call and confide in him because we were both in the culinary industry. And he know from his standpoint too, it happened to him as well. It's horrible when you got to be in your professional life. You good at your job and you love doing what you do, but they got to remind you at the end of the day, you a nigga. And you know
Mhm.
what we say, boy.
Yeah.
At that point, I was really tired of it. That's what made me. Any other time, I'll be like, man, forget that dude, and we just keep doing what we do. I
Mhm.
think the fed up part of me, hey, was just tired of it.
You know we can't
Um,
use that, right? No.
I know. I was actually congratulated by people. I was at the gas station after that. People was talking, oh, they're going to be right there. They coming up,
Right.
talk to me, oh, you were so in the right.
That's funny. I ain't no amusement to you. Get out of my face.
do do young black men understand how quickly situations can escalate?
Probably not. That's it.
No, it
Because
depends on where the young man is from,
right.
where they live at, how they were
But
raised, what their DNA makeup is.
right. But as kids, you know what I'm saying, you see all the stuff on TV, all the movies and stuff, and you think that that's how you got to be, to get your
Mm-mm.
point across. And then it just,
Your
I had
Gary
no
was a different
idea.
Gary from mine. Your Gary was
No,
really different
we
from
watched,
mine.
we
No,
watched Scarface
watch Scarface. I live
Dead
some of that
Presidents. And,
stuff.
okay, fair enough. But what I'm saying, and it blew up bigger than you thought it would, you know? Like the gym, and like I'm saying, like we don't think that it could go that big, but we just, you don't want people to pick on you. So you going above and beyond to sell it
No,
that you don't want to
where
pick on you. And
I
now
think it.
all of these people like, whoa, where y'all come from? You just
Mhm.
don't know. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. So no,
No,
we don't
bro.
think.
What I'm saying is it depends on what hood you lived in, who you
Fair
hung
enough.
around,
Yeah, absolutely.
things that you did after school hours. Sometimes that
Right.
lifestyle changes who you are and how you see how you need to be on your square at all times.
Right.
To this
Right.
day, if a car go past me and I'm standing on my porch, I'm watching it. I'm gonna tell you to make the model. I can hell even read the license plate for you.
Right.
I be that on it.
Question is, do they, do the youth think that it could blow up out of proportion quick, right? That's the gist.
That's why I said it depends on where they're from.
Fair enough. Yeah.
If you in a position like my son is right now, he hasn't had to have a fight. Largely enough because my daughter was a female version of me.
Yeah.
Anybody was messing with him in school, they were
Right.
what, 4 years apart, so they had a little time in elementary together.
Mm.
He never had to get in a fight. Anybody was messing with him, they had to deal with her.
Right.
The apartments
Right.
we lived in when they were out playing, she was out looking for people at times. She had a hit list.
Mm. Mm.
And yeah, he hasn't had to fight. He doesn't have that type of temperament.
Mhm.
It's going to be a little different. He's going to be a little bit more passive.
Mhm.
And don't get me wrong, he got the Cody blood in him. So to get down to that nitty gritty,
Mhm.
I think he might be able to do what he needs to do.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I had no idea.
It was in me the whole time.
Right.
Chance started glowing.
Right.
All right. how does media framing differ depending on who is involved? If you look at this situation with old
Mhm.
boy, you know, it's as I've been going through the videos and stuff, I see a lot of different people are framing it differently.
Sure.
As
Yeah.
when I speak about it, I frame it in a certain light. And
Mhm.
some of the people that I saw on YouTube, they speak about it, they frame it in a certain light. So,
Mhm.
you know, how does media framing differ depending on who is involved?
Just depends on the narrative that they're trying to sell.
Exactly.
Yeah. I can't remember the buzzwords, but like just say like there's a BLM or anything like that, or just a large crowd. Like one crowd will be like they were spirited, whatever. I can't think of the word right now. But then the other version is they're rioters.
Yeah.
So it's just like
Spirited protests
Yep.
protesters or
versus
something like
rioters.
that.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
And we're at that age
that
where you can't unsee things that you're seeing and unhear things that you didn't heard. We believe what we believe it at face value.
mm,
And yeah, in the past without smartphones, it was totally different.
Could you imagine
Technology.
what would have what the whole Alex Preddy and thing would be like if not for the cameras?
Exactly.
And Renee Good. I mean, without the
mhm.
cameras, could you imagine what would be just how they would just run off with the story
How,
and it would just be
however they would
that?
have wrote it out is how it would have came out.
Yeah.
Even
Right.
though we saw the videos for ourselves, they continue to try to tell you what you saw. And that's just
Right.
horror.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though I seen it with my
What
own
does
eyes, that ain't what I saw.
Yeah, your eyes lying to you.
Right.
Yeah.
You gonna believe me or your lying eyes?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, even though you're looking right at it,
Yeah,
you were still saying something completely different.
Mhm.
I couldn't quite understand that.
like I
Right.
told y'all
But
that look left while I do something over here on the right.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's
um,
me.
do black boys get the benefit of nuance? Like we were talking about it,
I don't
when I talked about it, when I talked about the whole, the whole situation with Carmelo Anthony, you know, those nuances that allow the Zimmermans and
Mhm.
people like that to get away, those little nuances. Not saying anything, black or white. I'm just saying
Yeah.
the little nuances.
No, I get what you're saying. And all right, so when I first saw him, a picture of him after they released him, the first thing I said to myself, crazy enough, just from seeing how this works, he needs to cut his hair. And he should probably put a tie on. He has to tidy up his image.
Mhm.
That's what they did with Trayvon Martin's murder. They cleaned him up. He
Mhm.
didn't look nothing like he looked when he actually murdered him. They cleaned his
Mhm.
image up. They got him in a certain light. And I think that's what won him the case.
Part of it.
Yeah. It had a
Yeah.
huge part. He looked the part.
Right.
They do this
Right.
all the time. There's certain women,
Yeah.
tie
Mhm.
your hair in the back, put on
Right.
glasses,
Glasses.
look like
Yeah.
a librarian.
Mhm.
Everybody likes the
Yeah.
librarian.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, I agree. Image is everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
do you believe that and I guess that's kind of leading off into this is do you believe that the public is quicker to judge black men versus white men?
I definitely think they're quicker to judge black men versus white men. I mean, that's you know, automatically you think a certain thing when you see a black person versus a white person because that's the way that it's designed. You've been groomed to think a certain way. So just right off the bat, I feel, let a black person just be in a hoodie or something. and he's just sitting there. He could be a straight A student, all the accolades, but the first glance, you just gonna think thug. You gonna think, you know, whatever, negative versus positive. Just before he even opened his mouth, you know, versus, maybe he's an athlete or he's cold, the white person, like
Yeah.
it's it's unfortunate, man.
There is that divide. We don't get the benefit of the doubt. Ahmaud Arbery had on all the
Right,
gear for a person that was out jogging,
right, right.
And in that instance, justice actually prevailed. I was a little shocked that it did because people like that in those regions just know there ain't no way I'm about to go in for this now.
Mm, mm,
I'm a good old boy.
right.
I was glad to see justice served there, but no, you don't get that benefit of the doubt.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I was looking for this photo of they had these photos of Carmelo Anthony and photos of Austin,
Austin,
but
yeah.
Austin, oh yeah, of Austin Metcalf, and they had photos of them. I was seeing there was another YouTuber that was showing photos of of Carmelo Anthony, and he had a hoodie on. You know what I'm saying? With his middle finger up, and had a gun in his hand, and all of
Why
that
that
stuff.
picture?
Exactly.
Right.
Because he was trying to show a narrative. He's trying to
Sure.
build a narrative
Of course.
that so that his followers and the people that saw the video and all that stuff can start to think that
Hmm.
way, can start thinking a
Hmm.
negative light
No,
about the boy.
it's a
Yet
battle.
there are also photos out there of I
Austin,
keep forgetting the boy's name. Yeah,
Austin,
Austin
yes.
Metcalf. Yeah. There are also photos of him and his brother holding guns and stuff out
Oh
there hunting
yes.
and all that.
Oh,
So
but
it's like,
that's where that divide come in and all they're hunting.
yeah, they're hunting. Yeah.
Hmm.
And the gun that Carmelo had wasn't even a real gun. It was like a BB gun or something. Like,
Tell you the truth. And bruh, what the difference is that, and crazy enough to say it, your family has to quickly get with a PR team
mhm.
Mm.
immediately because those are the people that will start throwing those out there, the right pictures, because it does make a difference. Y'all gonna show his mug shot on the majority of these things that is shown on various networks is shown on. You're always showing him his mug shot, but then you're showing Austin in a shirt and a tie
Mhm.
or in his football uniform.
Mhm.
They painted a pretty good picture of them. They both were good students. Austin had a 4.0, if I'm not mistaken. Carmelo had a 3.7, 3.8.
Mhm.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, both doing very well at school, both prominent players on their football teams, both looked at as leaders on their football teams.
Mhm.
But yeah, that spin, when that spin hit, man, believe it for what it is.
Yeah.
That starts swaying the court of public opinion.
Mhm.
Court of public opinion.
And the court of public opinion matters. That means that the jury did 9 times out of 10 heard what's going on in some facet.
Mhm.
So you guys think fathers are having real conversations about conflict and restraint? Do you think, well, let's just take it from a black perspective. Do you think black fathers are having real conversations about conflict and restraint? Based on what you're seeing in our society right now with black young men, do you think that the fathers are having real conversations about conflict and restraint?
I can only speak from where what I see around me. So all of the black fathers I know that live here, whether I be related to them or they're just friends, their sons seem to thrive.
What
If
about
they're-
nationally, though? I'm talking
Oh,
about just
nationally,
nationally.
I don't know.
yeah, that's a tough one because I would have to see it from afar and compare and contrast.
And just based on what you know about the year of 2025 and what 2026 has been like so far, if you think back, if you think about all the things that have happened, do you think that we're having those conflict of restraint conversations with our kids, black people, or with our boys, the
That's
young
hard.
men?
Sir. What did you think?
Yeah.
I don't think we are. Um,
Okay.
I don't think we are because we're so aggressive. No matter where I am out, in some of these neighborhoods, everybody's got a gun on their hip. Everybody's, acting in an aggressive nature, in an aggressive manner.
Mm,
Conflict is but a pinch away. You know what I mean?
mm,
It just takes the slightest little thing,
mhm,
and somebody's getting shot at the gas station. You know
Yeah.
what I
Because
mean? And I hate to
you guys
say
don't need
this
a,
about my own people, but it's just the way that it is in certain areas. I'm not gonna say in all areas. In certain areas, it just seems like an aggression. And there may be a reason for it. There may be multiple reasons for it. There may be a reason because there's a lot of things going on right now where folks is getting. So you need to be protected and be ready at all times. But I feel like that almost invites some of the conflict sometimes.
you guys are open
mm.
carry, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And y'all don't even have to have a permit no more.
Yeah, we do.
You do?
I think yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure.
I thought I had heard
I was
different.
So
gonna
That's
yeah,
a
ask
yeah.
you.
mistake.
No. We have to have a permit to carry here. You can have a gun at your house, but if I'm not mistaken, you have to have a permit to carry. I got mine. Mm,
Do you
For
have your
life.
car? I have mine. Right.
I got artillery all over the house. Don't matter where you come in, what door you come in, I
Right.
can get you.
It's gonna
Right.
be ready for you.
Like, you heard that, boys? Get them. Right.
Yeah.
I don't see
Um,
that where I live, but I'm not. The youth that I'm around, they not on that. I'm not. So I'm probably not in the area where that is prevalent, but that's not my day to day.
That same here.
So
It ain't many teenagers out here where I live at. And the ones that I do know, my neighbors next door, they grandkids, actually. I know them. I've been on them since they were little. Nah. But they not even black, so that's irrelevant.
mm.
Never
well, I tell
mind.
you, it's a whole lot of little thuglets running around,
God,
running around
thuglets.
getting.
You can't say thuglets, man.
Oh, sorry, sorry, can't say thuglets.
No,
Oh
but
yeah.
what you were saying, you know what's crazy though? And I heard this from a white guy. Kind of made sense to me. People will be more discouraged to do things or to actually shoot at another person if they know that person got a gun on their hip too.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Because it's most definitely gonna be that. And do I want it to be that from my standpoint? Some do. Some want that. But 9 times out of 10, I don't know. I had to agree with that. It was like, that does make sense because we could have that option. I was down in Gary visiting one time. I went to AutoZone to get something very simple for my car. Had just got in town. Messed around and saw some dude that graduated with one of my sisters. Said it was up to him, and while we out there talking to him, some other dude walked up. And before I knew it, they were squaring off. They had stole off on each other a couple of times, and then one of them stepped back
Oh,
and did
fight.
that. Yep, was
Uh,
about to pull it, and I was like, "Chris, get
mhm.
your ass in the car."
Right. Oh, Christian's with you?
Chris was with me, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Chris, get your ass in the car." Crazy enough, the other dude was like, "That what that mean to me?" I got, you know what I'm saying? He showed him he had one too, and they just got through fist fighting it out. I was
Mhm.
astonished, but I was driving up the street as I was being astonished.
Yeah, exactly.
I wasn't about to catch one of them bullets from, and you know what I'm
Right.
saying? I ain't got nothing to do
Right.
Yeah,
with that.
yeah.
Mhm.
That's why, when I'm in places with my kids and I see somebody that has their gun on their hip, honestly, I feel uncomfortable simply because I don't know you. I don't
Mm.
know where
Yeah,
you are. I don't know where you
yeah,
are right now today. Now, yesterday you might
Mhm.
have been fine, but
Mhm.
today I don't know where you are. And
yeah,
so, I mean, and so, and then yes, I don't carry my gun on me a lot of time because,
Mhm.
I feel like I'm inviting myself to have a conflict, to
Mhm,
have an issue, even though
mhm,
I know it's protection. But I try not to do it as much. I take it sometimes when I know I'm going to be out at night, but other than that, I try not to. So, what emotional skills save lives?
Mm.
humor?
What
That
I
could
agree.
I
very
use
well.
humor
I
a
agree.
lot. It
I
works a
agree with
lot
that.
for me.
That is your
Yeah.
personality.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's
that's
worked. It's for
always been
me.
Jay's personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's worked.
Mhm, mhm,
Humor, I guess conflict resolution, that's the
Mhm,
skill. Conflict resolution,
mhm,
teaching your child to be able to speak his way out of things, to be able
mhm,
to have that gift to gab, you know.
mhm,
And I got one. I got my youngest son. He's just like
mm,
he can talk you into a frenzy. And I mean,
mhm,
he'll argue you down. And no matter what you say, he got an opposing word for it. Even
mhm,
though he may feel the exact same way you feel, he's going
mhm.
to oppose you because he knows it gets a rise out of you. That's just him.
It gets around like you.
It gets a rise out of me. Um, how do we teach pride without teaching volatility? Volatility. How do we teach pride without teaching volatility?
You show them that there's strength and restraint, you know, that you're stronger, not have you don't need no gun. All you need is this. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, just be
until
up in the
somebody
day.
until somebody pull a gun out.
Right, right. But there's strength in not even getting to that point. Like there are ways that you can talk it down or talk yourself out of or just not even be there. There are ways. It is possible. You can't, I mean, maybe it's not 100%, but 9 times out of 10, and I'm living proof. Like I ain't been in many fights. And the ones that I were in, I kind of wanted to do it, but I didn't have to. Like the person I fought, he didn't want to do it either. It was just the crowd around us. I could have squashed it, but I just want to see if I could fight. But I could have talked myself out of it, and it wasn't nothing. But 9 times out of 10, there are ways, but there might be a situation that you can't get out of. But I would urge you to try first. But if you
Mm.
can't, then hey, it is what it is. But
I learned how to fight out of necessity.
right. Hmm.
I went to Locke Elementary all the way throughout 4th grade. 5th grade, I got transferred to Ernie Powell, which is closer to my house. I only went to Locke because my whole family went there. And I guess my mother, she knew the teachers, all that, was familiar with everything there.
Hmm.
And when I got there, of course, I got tested by the little dudes up in there that didn't know me at all. And out of
Hmm.
necessity, somebody was messing with Chris.
Hmm.
And again, I would have got a behind whooping when I got home if they had did harm to
You
Chris.
did.
And I didn't do nothing to help.
Right.
And that don't matter
Right.
anyhow. I love my little
I'm
brother.
with that.
And
Hmm.
anytime you think you want it with him, you ain't even gonna understand. I'm coming from the left and I'm gonna knock you out.
Hmm.
So yeah, out of necessity, I started doing it. It ain't something that I like to do, but it's something that I would darn sure do if I have to.
Right. I'm the same way.
Uh,
I can see
that's the
that.
only that's what I pass on to my son. I still attest to the fact that the best fight is the one that doesn't happen. Outwit your opponent, man. And I never answered your last question either. I do it with sarcasm.
Mm.
I sarcastically get up out of there. Most people
But
that
won't
just want to sit there and go back and forth with you, I see your intellect if you could go back and forth with me on the sarcasm. If
Hmm.
it goes over the head, then I'm not sticking around for that.
you
Right.
don't think
They might
sarcasm
take it
can
as a form of
escalate it?
disrespect.
Yeah,
Right.
that's to be
You
an
know,
escalation.
it wouldn't be in a threatening way. But like, if you're really being a jerk to me, yeah, I'm going to sarcastically tell you to go somewhere. Very, very
Think
sarcastic.
that's gonna I think all that's gonna do is just say, "Hey,
Anger.
let's
Yeah.
let's let's amp this up a bit." That's just gonna
Sure.
this would be
They'll
that's a
feel
sign of
stupid.
disrespect. Yeah, you trying to make me look stupid. You trying to make me feel stupid. All right, well, let's take it up a
Mhm.
notch.
Right.
Nobody can
Right.
make you look stupid. That has to be a choice.
But you look stupid.
You
I
know
ain't
how
made
people
you.
are
You
saying.
look stupid
You know
all by
what? You know
yourself.
what people say. But see that you would have said that to somebody, and that would have just took it up another level.
Right. Right.
That's on them. As long as they stay where
I
I can't
would.
reach them, we're cool.
Right.
You stay over there
We
and I'm
were.
stay over here. Don't start none what we
So
doing.
so no real conflict resolution, huh?
No, it's
Come
there.
with the shit. Yeah.
And my
I
kids
use
are
humor.
naturally sarcastic, just like me.
Mhm.
So that's probably gonna be the first thing to come out their mouths, and that's just how we deal with jerks.
Mm.
I'm
Mhm.
speaking your language, jerk. So it's like, yeah,
It
what else
feels
you want?
good, does it?
Jerk.
That's funny.
What is one conversation you wish someone had with you when you were 16?
There's so many.
I'm pretty good.
Mine would have been
Um,
about wealth knowledge,
okay, fair enough. Yeah.
how
Yeah.
to invest,
Right.
how to
Right.
actually make money work for you. I think it would have
Mhm.
been very beneficial at that age.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. Something financial or wealth building or
Yeah,
investing or how credit works. Something financial, something like that. That probably
yeah.
would at 16, how to start a business or something.
Yep.
What what do you wish someone would have told you at 16 about conflict?
I didn't have much conflict, so I feel like I was good in that area. So they didn't really have to tell me. So I it's hard for me to answer that.
Are there any situations that you think you could have done better when it comes to conflict? Did you have any conflicts that didn't end well, that didn't end the way you desired them to end?
No, not I mean, outside of like dating, maybe, might have ended a relationship, hurted a feeling, just ghosted or done something, like I probably could have let them down better where they might feel good about themselves. But
Okay,
that's probably
that's
that's
fair.
it. Yeah.
That's conflict resolution. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. It's not you, it's me. I didn't say anything. You just left. No.
All right. Colin?
I would say ditto to him when it comes to females. Just a bunch that I probably did the wrong way. If you guys are watching, I apologize. I was a totally different person then. I am worse now. No, I'm just playing.
He not playing.
Uh,
He not playing.
Uh,
screw you, buddy. I'm
right.
sorry, Skirter. Um, no, seriously, with that, I wish I would have respected them better in certain instances and not did some of the messed up things or messed up choices or messed up words that I shared with them. As far as I'm sorry, on majority of those fights that I had in school, they was asking for it.
They were asking for it.
They're asking for
That
it.
phrase right there.
They were
That's-
asking for it.
Okay. I am
All right,
Jason
not
Christopher, and I
sorry.
do not approve this message. No.
I know. I know.
And you better stop playing. All right,
Sure.
so since we're gonna talk this, and I ain't trying to clown you, baby boy, but you gonna have to let me tell this. Remember that time we got off the bus on Fifth Ave at McDonald's? Hey, what Cody did you need to be there that day?
I
Uh-oh.
needed Rock'em Sock'em Gangsta the Coley. I needed the
Rock 'em,
roughest of the rough that day. Because
rock
if
'em,
I
rock
wouldn't
'em,
have had him, it would have been over for me.
Bro got off on
Yeah.
Fifth Ave with a Green Bay Packers hat on with that G start hard to the right.
Why would you wear Green Bay? And what?
Yo, I
With
was
the
trying to
Bears,
tell you
like,
the whole time. The
My
whole
hat was
time I
caught
was like,
broke
bro,
so hard.
Bro, I was like, hey,
Oh,
either you gonna have to
yeah.
take that off or you gonna have to turn it straight. And Ant was like, man, fuck
Right.
that. I was like,
Conflict
that's
resolution,
what you
man.
really want to do.
Conflict resolution.
I was from Glen Park, and so, when you from Glen Park, you don't really care, but I wasn't thinking, I'm down on Fifth Avenue now.
You can't. You
This is
can't
not
that.
this is not Glen Park. I can't do that.
Them boys was about to tell his ass something. Oh,
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they
I
were.
took that hat clean off. I'm sorry. I had
right.
to take that I had to take it off. I
nah,
paid.
What happened?
I'm
What
sorry.
happened?
God
It's
willing,
basically
I knew about 5 dudes that was in that crowd. Had grew up
Yeah.
with some of these dudes and
Right.
actually chopped it up with them real quick. It's like, that dude was cool, man. That's my dude. That's my
Right.
dude. He ain't mean
Right.
nothing.
Right.
and I wasn't thinking about it either. And that was when I was like, I had, as you all know, always got 2 phones. And so, I'm one guy, well, it was one Anthony at school, another Anthony at home. And see, I was used to being a G at home. And so,
At home.
yeah,
Everybody's
yeah,
a G at
yeah.
home.
I'm used to being a G
But
at home.
he was in my backyard.
Right.
And everybody over there, those Spice Lords.
Yeah, they wasn't playing with me at all.
Um,
If I was young,
This is what I
dumb,
mean when I say
foolish.
don't put yourself in the situation in the first place. Okay.
Exactly.
because he could have took that thing. He could took that thing.
Right.
Out.
Exactly. Yes. But you know what? Conflict resolution. I immediately, well, not immediately, after
Right.
being told,
Right.
after being told twice, I did have to
Early.
get two tellings before
Right.
I took it off. But
Mhm.
but yeah, I needed rock and sock and quality that day.
Mhm. Rock'em Robin.
Yeah. It's the last question. How do we interrupt cycles of reaction before they turn fatal?
Don't have to begin with.
But
That's my
I mean,
mindset.
but that and I agree with you. But if you're in a situation, because the question is, how did you interrupt the cycle of reaction?
De-escalation. Humor, compliments, whatever you gotta say to get out of it. To live, whatever you gotta say. But I'm all about de-escalation. Like, come on, man. You don't want to do that. Look at that nice shirt you got on. You don't want to ruin that shirt, man. You try to pay good money for that shirt. Why would you want to do that? You gonna upset all the ladies? There's so many ladies out here. You want to fight? You could be holding somebody. Come on now.
You want to get blood on your time, but let's
Right. Right.
All right. Yeah, all right, right on.
You don't want
Yes.
to fight then.
Coley, how do you interrupt cycles of reaction before they turn fatal?
Yeah, I agree with Jason.
Totally.
It got to be some kind of form of restraint. Y'all know who I was. I was a firecracker up in high school and all that or whatever. And throughout my 20s, was still that firecracker. That's what, I don't know, it's pride at the same time too, man. Again, y'all don't understand it. And I'm not saying that calls for it to be physical, but some people don't know how to not leave you the hell alone enough for it not to become it.
Yes. Yeah.
So I moved here and I live right up the street from this popular bar called Blondie's. We used to hang out there all the time. Blondie's. Like a blondie woman,
Blondie's. Oh.
blondie, or like a blondie brownie. I don't know. It was a mixed place though. A lot of, you saw some everybody up there. I used to go get some good weed though. You know how it go, man. You done hit your plug up. Meet me in the bathroom, man. Bro, what you want?
All right. We need
I'm up in
somebody
there
to
chilling with, I'm chilling with a dude that I used to go with my coworkers. And this one dude that I work with named Isaac. Man, this fool, he was a loudmouth, like really a loudmouth. He was fun and funny with it, don't get me wrong, but he would overdo it at times. And while we sitting up there having some drinks and talking, he just ragging on Gary, Indiana. Y'all dirty. Y'all water dirty. Y'all people dirty. Y'all just dirty. You know, I got back with him. I started talking about
Take
how
kindly to that kind of stuff.
I was like, and y'all some fake gangsters here. Y'all running around here acting like y'all us. And the ones that's real gangsters up here are the ones that's on the rag from down there.
Mm,
It was two gentlemen across from me that didn't appreciate what I had just said, but they was all cool with
mhm.
Gary comments
Right.
until I said that. Let's just say it ended with this dude talking about we go to the trunk. I jumped up to go lunch at him before I knew it. Security had to come grab me. When somebody
Mm,
tell you that and coming from where I come from, I'm gonna give you the definition of that. You don't take that shit lightly. You're gonna go
mhm.
lay them down and make sure they don't move again. That ain't just a Gary, Indiana thing. It's a survival thing, and most definitely a United States Army thing.
Yeah. Well, all right.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if they go into the trunk,
Mhm,
I'm gonna beat the brakes off you before you get to that trunk.
mhm.
You're gonna have to
and
crawl
who
to that trunk.
announces? Who
I'm
announces?
an idiot, and I clapped because I was like, "Thank you for letting me know you got something in the trunk." I
Mhm.
appreciate that. He gave a
Molly
commercial
Wop
for us.
time.
He gave a commercial for us pistol.
Every loss is tragic, and every life attached or affected by that tragedy deserves respect. But if we're serious about preventing future tragedy, we have to stop arguing about the moment. We have to examine the mindset because teaching our sons how to manage emotion may be the most important protection we ever give them. My name is Anthony, and this is Beyond the Barbershop. Thank you for going with us.